Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and whoo, I got some hot news for you today. I am so excited about this. Actually, I should say unique news. It's not hot news. It's totally unique news. So, I love my YouTube channel. I thank you so much for everybody who listens to this channel. I know I come at Dungeons & Dragons from an angle that absolutely no one in the world is coming at it from. It's completely unique to me. I enjoy that, but this, I think, is truly unique. I've never heard anybody talk about this online, and it is very D&D and very important and very fascinating. So let's talk about it. Okay. Today, we're going to talk about the Magic the Gathering existing Dungeons & Dragons card, which is the Planeswalker Dungeon Master. This Magic the Gathering card is bizarre and incredibly valuable, in my opinion. Incredibly valuable, right? I actually think this thing is worth $1 million plus US right now, today, okay? That, in my opinion. All right, so let's go forward. So what is this thing, right? So first of all, if you don't know, Wizards of the Coast right now is putting together one of the strangest products that anybody's seen in a long time, and that product is the Magic the Gathering Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in Forgotten Realm. Adventures in Forgotten Realm. Thank you.
Have a great night.
So Adventures in Forgotten Realm, and it's really incredible. Okay, and so here's what they're doing with it, right? So they're gonna bring this thing out. It's coming out now, right? And it's a set of Dungeons & Dragons cards. Now it's gonna come out in June, and I'll tell you right now, if you got a brain in your head, you should pre-order this thing, because I think these things are gonna go through the roof. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor in any way. That's purely my 2 cents opinion, but I really think that this is going to be a big set for Magic the Gathering, and it's historically important because this is going to be the first time the setting of a Magic the Gathering set is an official Dungeons & Dragons setting, which is going to be Forgotten Realms. And by the way, that links exactly to the setting that is going to be in the Paramount 2023 Dungeons & Dragons movie, which means we are really moving toward, I think we had already been there, but we're moving to a world where Forgotten Realms is undeniably the official setting of Dungeons & Dragons. Even though I think Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro kind of deny it all the time, right? So, if you think I'm wrong, point me to the Forgotten Realms setting book for 5th edition, which I can tell you right now doesn't exist, right? Almost 30 hardbacks out, and Forgotten Realms doesn't even have a titled setting book, right? Not one. It's crazy, right? So, and it did in 3rd edition, as recently as 3rd edition, right? Great, absolute nuts, right? All right, so you have this setting book. So you have this new Magic the Gathering set coming out, right? So I'm I'm definitely interested in that. And I'll tell you right now, I'm making plans to get a lot of these cards and to play in the pre-release. I'm super hyped, right? And I would really encourage you, if you've never played Magic the Gathering, start practicing now so you can go and play in the pre-release. It definitely will behoove you, and I will give you lots of reasons for that. But you should really do it. You should go right now, okay? And you should learn to play Magic immediately, because Dungeons & Dragons is about to be a Magic the Gathering official setting, right? And it will help you as a player in multiple ways to be able to play Magic when this thing comes out, right? Now, the card we're talking about today is a card that predated this coming set by 3 years. The card we're talking about today is incredibly bizarre, right? Wait until you hear this, right? So, you are a Dungeons & Dragons player, or you are a Dungeon Master, and that means that you are aware of the 1983 to 1985 Dungeons & Dragons official Saturday morning cartoon. Beautiful piece of Americana, incredibly valuable, one of the greatest things that was ever achieved by Gary Gygax. Massively helped the game move forward. Okay, it's historically important in American history, in Saturday morning cartoon history, in American television history, and certainly in Dungeons & Dragons history, okay? Now, in that show, there is a character. That character is Dungeon Master. He is short. You've seen him, right? He's very short. He is he's even smaller than a dwarf. He's about the size of a gnome. Okay, but we really don't know what race he is, right? What lineage he is. We don't really know. It was never defined, to my knowledge, right? He has a bald head, and he has a ring of white hair. Okay, and he has red robes. You've seen him, right? He looks like a wizard, but he's not a wizard. He's the dungeon master. Okay, he is the dungeon master from the cartoon. Right? Magic the Gathering, the game that has sold it's sold well over $1 billion of cards. Well over $1 billion, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar international intellectual property end game, right? They printed a Magic the Gathering Planeswalker Dungeon Master card, right? I recently saw the card. It looks like a Planeswalker card. If you don't know what Magic Gathering is, you won't know what a Planeswalker card is. But if you do, he's a Planeswalker, okay? So I'm like, oh my gosh, want this now, right? So I'm like, sell it to me. I want it. Give it to me now. I was ready to go to my wife. Well, actually, it's like, if this costs $1,000, we're gonna own it. Period. Right? Done and done. Right? Like, so any number up to $1,000, we were gonna order now. Right? Like, so I got very excited when I saw this card. Right? So I'm like, so I go online and I'm like, boop, MTG Planeswalker Dungeon Master card. Give it to me now. Want it. Give it. Right? Like, I was very excited. Right? And they're like, no prices. And I'm like, wait. You're saying this is a real card, but you're saying there's no price on it. Well, this isn't how the internet works. If the card is available, if the card's been made, I could buy it, right? And they're like, no, you can't. Why? Only four of these cards were made in history. And guess what? They were given to the 5th edition design team people. We don't know exactly who got them, right? But this is one of the most rare, most eccentric, most purely beautiful Magic the Gathering Dungeons & Dragons crossover collectibles that has ever existed, right? And every single Hollywood schmuck who loves Dungeons & Dragons, Dan Harmon, okay, Joe Manganiello, Ann Woll, right, like Vin Diesel, right? You can name them off. That's 4 Hollywood stars right there, right? Who all are millionaires who would definitely want this card, without a doubt, right? All who would be able to like just throw $1 million away like it was nothing, right? And so that's why I think this thing is the most valuable Dungeons & Dragons collectible ever made. And in my opinion, even though no one will price it, I'm very confident it's worth $1 million. Very confident, in my humble opinion, right? Just my opinion. I am super excited. If you know anything about this card that I did not say here, because I think I just told you everything I know about this card, please hit me up in the comments below. Let me know more. And I'd love to know your thoughts on what you think this thing is worth. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.